former President Trump holding a slight lead over Joe Biden, according to the latest Reuters IPSOS poll. Now, between the two candidates, former President Trump held a marginal 2-point lead, a lead that widened when voters were given the choice of a third-party candidate, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. With more, we want to bring in Yahoo Finance's Rick Newman. Rick, I would love your reaction to this poll, and from at least these poll results, RFK Jr. at least being viewed as more of a threat to President Biden.
Yeah, Biden can't be feeling good about this poll or any poll really that shows, mainly the polls show him even with Trump or Trump with a little bit of an edge. And this, of course, is despite the fact that Trump is involved in 4 criminal investigations involving 91 criminal charges and could actually end up convicted of a crime by the time we have the election in November of next year. So what does Biden have to do to put himself in better standing? I think he needs inflation, which we've been talking about for the last 2 years nonstop. He needs inflation to basically disappear as a problem. He needs consumers to stop worrying about food costs going up. He needs gasoline prices to stay low, and maybe he will have a better chance. And his approval rating will go up a little bit. One thing I did notice, Shauna, in that poll that actually is a little bit of good news for President Biden is he is ahead in that poll in 7 swing states. And let's remember, in 2024, just as in 2020, it's going to be a super small portion of voters in 4, 5, or 6 swing states that are actually going to determine the election. And that's Georgia, possibly North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Arizona, and possibly Nevada. So Biden doing a little bit better than Trump in those states in this poll, but he's definitely not in safe territory at the moment.
You know, Rick, looking past the skepticism on polls, especially given the last few elections, whether they be midterm or general, can you tell us a bit more here about RFK Jr. and why he's pulling support from both sides, actually?
Right. So Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is the son of Robert Kennedy, who was the senator and attorney general in his brother John F. Kennedy's administration. RFK Jr. Used to be an environmental lawyer and more or less a mainstream figure, and he has just gotten fringier over time. So I think the thing he's best known for at this point is he's a pronounced anti-vaxxer. I mean, he is a vaccine skeptic, and he's kind of gained some followers there. And he's not, I mean, so the way he would get votes is probably just the Kennedy name, which amazingly still seems to resonate with a lot of Americans. But he's not necessarily a liberal Democrat. So there's a question of whether he would take more votes from Trump or from Biden. I've seen it cutting both ways in different polls. So this poll we're talking about shows that he would be taking more votes from Biden. But some people think that because of his sort of fringe appeal, that he might actually appeal to some Trump voters or possible Trump voters who don't want to vote for Biden. And he also has to get on the ballot. So he's only on the ballot in a few states at this point. So he will be a factor if he gets on the ballot in those swing states. That's really the thing to watch for.